Hey, it's Nichivo. You have to excuse my voice. Um, that should at least show the game. Alright. Having some issues with the game showing up since it crashed when I was running this earlier. Excuse my voice, it's almost gone. Um, so, let's address some of the changes that they've made. I haven't gotten to test every single change yet. A lot of them seem like they're fairly straightforward, so I'm not going to speak on them until I've actually tested them. So people are giving people a hard time about the max health. I don't remember if the um, max health before was 742 or 782 per piece of armor. So I can't tell you the exact amount, but it seems like the current amount of 4,442 is going to fall somewhere in the 5.6 to 6 times range, what it was before. Uh, which actually, with the exception of maybe Technomancer, makes running at least one piece of health gear viable, whether people will admit it or not. Even with the timed trials, I could highly recommend swapping at least one piece for health gear with those values. Now, if they were to give us, say, a really good 5-piece set bonus that would incentivize us to wear 2 pieces, that would be absolutely amazing. Um, like I said, the 5-piece bonus would have to really be top notch. I would personally kind of like to see a 2-piece, 3-piece, and 5-piece bonus, but yeah, it is what it is. As for the as for the changes or the as for the gift packages, I did indeed get the gun I was missing. It did not trigger the accolade, which means that I will have to get it again. Uh, I'm thankful for getting that gun, but I'm going to try and see this from the point of everyone else that's been waiting for so long. Uh, with the amount of broken things in the game, um, teleport bug on tricksters, uh, if you use, is it gravity leap? Ooh, I think it's gravity leap. I actually was trying it out here because I don't usually use it. The last few times I used it, I got stuck. Um, and if you've got a host with a poor connection, uh, there's like a 2-second being stuck whenever you use that skill. So I probably am not going to keep using it. But there's a lot of bugs like that that truly need to be fixed. Um, and people are still dealing with them, which is why you're going to get a lot of feedback from people not happy with with the uh, the package. I, I, I mean this emote. It's okay. I feel like it could have been a little more. It's absolutely 100% the copycat of one of the emotes that we had in Anthem. Um, but yeah, my problem is I think that a lot of people, I've heard of people not getting the one weapon that they were missing, and I can't speak to that because it didn't happen to me personally. I got the one weapon I was missing. It just didn't count towards the accolade. I still have some bugged accolades uh, that I've shown before are bugged. Um, I I feel like you're going to get a lot of guff from people about that package because a small amount of titanium. I didn't even notice how much titanium it was because I mean I looked at all of my characters and I didn't notice it. Uh, my gun happened to be on one of my least played characters, but it was indeed the gun I was missing. It just didn't count towards the accolade. So, like I said, I haven't had a chance to test all of the changes, so I can't speak to that. I haven't been feeling real well, so I'm not sure how long it will take me to test all of the changes. I would like to see some of the bugs addressed and some of the mods improved. Like before, I mentioned before how it would be really great if they would take like specifically some of the defense mods, like diffuse. And that could have been if it played into gameplay, this could have been worthy of a tier 3 defense mod. But in order to do that, instead of activation on sprinting, it would have had to have like take diffuse and combine it with phantom dash to where diffuse activates on your dash, and then after your dash is finished, it stays good for about 5 seconds and then falls off, and you'll have to dash to bring it back up. If they had done that and maybe upped the armor value a little bit, or maybe given it a 2 times your current armor value and left the resistance at 50, or maybe even bumped the resistance up a little bit, that would have been a tier 3 defense mod worthy defense mod. Some of the mods are just pretty poor. They're pretty poor. Some of them aren't even worth even considering using. Like I still say my favorite is damage absorber because it's consistent and it's got 100% uptime, which most of the others do not have. I'd like to see it have a different graphic than Crit Stack, and I'd like to see different graphics for these. You know, it is what it is. I think the changes were a step in the right direction. And I think that at least one piece of health gear is viable on pretty much every classic, maybe except for, well, maybe even with Technomancer. I still haven't rechecked the Borealis set to see if they fixed that. I don't think they have yet. But some of the mods need to be addressed, but a lot of the bugs seriously need to be addressed. And unfortunately, some of the huge issues are peer-to-peer issues that I'm not sure you guys are going to be able to fix well. It's peer-to-peer. You may be able to set it up to where a host migration chooses a new host and feeds that host all the information from where they were, so they don't lose where they were in the case of a host migration at the end of a mission where the drop pod's at. The reason peer-to-peer really doesn't... Okay. Sadly, it's because of places like, mainly, well, I hate to pick on a country, especially if it's the one I live in, America, where a large portion of the country gets internet access and they get good down speeds, but they wind up with really pathetic, horrible up speeds. We're talking like really low up speeds, and that makes them not a viable host for a peer-to-peer game. But most games don't. Like this game, you can set out to be a host, and it just doesn't. Just got done running a mission with someone, and it was a red connection bar the entire time. So I don't know if he was just like in some area around me even, but just has bad up speeds. But that's gonna happen in a large number of places where they have to pay extra for what should be good up speeds. I mean, there's areas around me where your up speeds, if you aren't fiber, can't exceed 20 Mbps. So, because they just don't have packages for it. So I mean that's at least high enough that you can stream a game. Uh, but there's another large section where they get between 3 and 5, and you can't really stream real well with that limit of up speed. Hey, I don't stream anymore, but I'm just saying you can't. So the people that have, say, consoles and only have that amount of up speed, and then wind up as a host, or even people that have PCs and then wind up with a small amount of up speed and wind up as the host, are going to cause problems for everyone, because they just can't relay the information the way a host machine would have to. That's why peer-to-peer kind of still stinks. Not everybody on the planet yet gets 50 minimum Mbps up, which would be awesome. I mean, if the entire planet had fiber, that would be even better. 500 up, good deal. But it's a peer-to-peer issue, guys. It'd be nice if those host migrations would at least attempt to send the information to one of the other players and recreate where they were, rather than just starting them at the beginning of the mission and losing all progress. But I think you guys made a step in the right direction. I'd like to see way more. I'd like to see some of the bugs fixed, and I would definitely just like to see some mod improvements, especially with things like diffuse and the defensive mods. I'd love to see some improvements with those. And I mean, don't get too down, guys. Like, with the people that don't understand that somewhere between 5.6 and 6 times the amount of health on a piece of gear is actually worthwhile. I mean, a 5-piece set bonus would definitely make it even more worthwhile if it was really good. People might consider it. The other thing is, drop rates really are horrible in this game. And I know you want to ask a whole bunch of questions about it, but when I log in and I do like 5, maybe 10 runs and don't see a legendary on a CT-15 Gold Expedition, something's broken, guys. Something is broken. It doesn't even make me want to continue playing. I mean, if I see one, at least there's the possibility that it could be an upgrade or something I'm missing. But when you see none, there is zero possibility that that is an upgrade for something that you have or something that you're missing. You got random stats in the game. There's no reason not to flood people with legendary items, because like the guns, you're still going to be looking for the God World stat. Even if you get like 10 of them, you might get 10 of them that are in the low 80s, but you're still looking for that one that's in the mid to high 90s. Just let people with legendaries and make the game rewarding. Hope everybody's voice is doing better than mine. I hope you all stay safe, have a good one. I'm out of here.